Today, we are going to look at three big upsets that happened this week. We're going to look at one thing we can learn from each of them. So the three teams we're looking at are Uconn, Marquette, and Creighton. All lost games that they were favored to win by considerable margins. We're going to discuss one thing from each team that they can learn from the future opponent's perspective. Because I guarantee upcoming opponents will watch this game film and see what they can learn from it. So we're going to discuss it as well. Let's go. Alright, starting with Uconn. So the first thing with Uconn is they are very good on offense because they space the floor and shoot pretty well. But some of the trade-off for that is they're not super athletic. So one of the ways you can punish teams that aren't that athletic is trying to attack them in transition. So albeit this isn't like just an open look, it still shows what Seton Hall was trying to go to. This attacking in transition forces so much emphasis on getting back. You can see right here we have 4 Seton Hall players and 3 Connecticut players in the picture. If you can create that kind of advantage, you should, especially when Klingon was in trouble, and it puts a lot of pressure on their 35, who's their backup post player, to protect the rim. Same thing again, we can see as soon as they get the ball, what do? They're looking to push the ball up ahead in transition. These 2 Connecticut players are probably not their most athletic individuals, and so you want to try and attack them one-on-one every opportunity you get. And because of the style of offense that Connecticut plays, a lot of times they'll shoot threes, which means you're going to have rebounds where you have the opportunity to push. Again, what do we have right here? 2 players, one of them being Spencer, who's not super athletic, and 3 and or 4 Seton Hall players looking to attack them. That is a matchup that you want if you are on the other team, for sure. Alright, so then let's go to Villanova versus Creighton. Villanova honestly applied the single simplest strategy. And that was simply to say our post is going to be able to beat your post one-on-one. They allowed Eric Dixon to essentially work with Kalkbrenner one-on-one and say that is going to be an efficient shot for us. And then same concept with the backup post in, he does the exact same thing. They do not deviate from it. In this game, Dixon scored 32 points, which shows you just how much of an emphasis they put on. So this is just a slight added wrinkle. I don't even know if this is necessary, but if your post can shoot, that makes it better as well. You see, over and over, they are putting Kalkbrenner in action, whether it be the ball screen or whether it be just the post up regular. And one of the big things is here that you can take away is Creighton, essentially, they don't rotate super well. And you can see none of the other players are super concerned about helping with this role at all. They're content to stay on the perimeter, and it leads to one of many very open looks. Similar to Uconn, Creighton on offense prioritizes three-point shooting, which means that they're going to be a little bit less athletic, a little bit less physical on defense. That's definitely one of the overarching trade-offs. Obviously, you have exceptions to the rule, but that's going to provide opportunities to attack them with athletic ability. Notice here, no help comes. Like, this is at this point, I'm sure Dixon has like 26 points or something like that, and they are content to just be like, oh, he'll win it this time. And he didn't. So then finally we go to Marquette. And so one of the big things about Marquette is they play really good defense, really good help defense and rotational defense. And I think the best way to go after them that Providence showed is you essentially got to force them into rotation and try and capitalize at them. So we can see, one, the ball got to the middle. It forced help and or rotation. They might even be in their zone here, but the same concepts apply. The ball got to the inside. That means that on the perimeter, you have somebody that is open, and you got to find them, and you got to make good shots as well. Okay, as this happens, we're looking to see, does the ball get to the inside, and what happens when it does. Okay, ball gets to the inside, forces help here. That means this person has to take the cutter, has to take whatever, zero the threat right here, which means 10 and 14 are open, and he hits a nice 3 again. Okay, boom. What we can see, we forced help. They came down to double and or just were being aggressive, which I like Shaka's smart mentality on that for sure, honestly. But what does it leave? Somebody open on the perimeter. Also, Marquette only has 4 players, so I'm assuming somebody's down on the other end. And last one, what do? We see the ball come in here. What happens? You know a double's coming. You know Marquette's going to be aggressive with the help and the rotations. Kick it out. And if it's open there, boom. Another easy concept is you know that they're going to go and help. So as soon as you know the help's going to come, so your defender leaves, migrate closer to the ball, because then you make it so 11, Kolek in this instance, who was guarding over here, has to cover so much more distance, just make it a little bit harder for the closeout to give you an open look. All right, so in conclusion, we can see that Uconn, one of their weaknesses might be to attacking them transition based on their limited athletic ability. 2 was Creighton, similar limited athletic ability, but attacking through the post. And then 3, Marquette, getting the ball inside to outside to prey on their early rotations. And so one of the big things about this is this works both ways. So not only does it help people prepare for these teams, but also with Marquette, Uconn, and Creighton, they get this opportunity to learn. So I honestly think it's kind of a blessing in disguise to lose these games early, because you know what to work on in practice, you know what your weaknesses are, and it doesn't have to be like the coach just saying those weaknesses. Now you know, oh, we freaking lost to Providence. Now we know that that's a weakness for us. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.